you're wasting time with your self-development routine. And I'm telling you this because I'm someone who loves reading the books, watching the podcasts, any kind of education that's productive, that's going to help me, my 1% improve my life. I'm taking it. I'm watching it. I'm reading it. I'm there. And I'm telling you that I've wasted hours and hours and hours doing this. And I've now finally found maybe a better way to perceive what self-development actually should be like. And I want to share it with you to, hopefully help you waste less time. But in case you're new to this channel, my name is Marvin Asegahi. I've been in sales since 2016, and I now share my lessons on productivity, mindset, focus to basically help you boost your own performance in sales. And so I want to jump straight into it and share with you what I think was the biggest misconception for me when it comes to self-development, and that is viewing it like theory. It's as long as I'm intaking information that's going to help me in some way, shape, or form in some aspect of my life, then it must be productive and it's a good use of my time to intake that in. For example, perfect example, on a weekend, I would be more than happy to maybe spend my Saturday watching two-hour long podcasts on, Andrew Huberman or Alex Hormozi. Here's, the 10 hardest lessons to learn in life, and, here's how to improve your morning alertness or some shit, Great topics, but am I going to implement them immediately? Maybe some, but largely I'm just intaking content that feels good, that I'm going to remember and maybe use in theory in some point or time. And so what I'm getting at is that you're actually think about what self-development is supposed to be. You're improving some specific aspect about yourself, and usually this comes from because you already have some sort of pain, like some sort of lack in skill or some sort of desire to improve a certain skill. So if you can't articulate yourself the way you want to on a YouTube video right now, my self-development should be how to be a better speaker, and probably just doing the reps and the reps and the reps, because that's really what's going to actually develop me as a presenter, as a recorder, as a content maker on YouTube. If you're not as disciplined as you should be in your sales job, then sure, it should be all about discipline, fortitude, resilience, like how to upgrade that. You need to become way more specific on what it is you're actually learning, like what is genuinely your agenda right now. Get the content for that and then implement it immediately. Otherwise, really ask yourself, is it not just entertainment? Like if you're watching a video for the sake of watching it because you're telling yourself it's good, and then no action follows it, like for example, that podcasts on whatever it might be, it's just entertainment. It's not education, it's just entertainment. You're not using it, you're not implementing it. That is literally just entertainment. You're gonna watch podcast after podcast after order, read a book, and have no actual step forwards from it. That was a little bit of waffle there, but you get the point. It should be like that's probably the one good thing that you could take from the school model, is that the page that you're learning in the textbook and in the curricular book, you're learning the lesson, then it gets applied there and then. That's really how it should be. Learn steps 1, 2, 3, go implement them, come back, then continue the theory or the education and whatever it is you're learning. I'm not saying all morning routines are bad. We've all watched the morning routine video. It might be wake up, the sunlight, the meditation, the journal, a quick prayer, some mobility, whatever it might be. I'm just kind of just listing mine here, but there comes to a point where these things should boost you forward rather than become your whole lifestyle. If you're you see the thing online, like monk mode, if your whole life just becomes constantly fucking digging your head into a book, like learning some piece of information without actually seeing an upgrade in your life, then surely that's not what you want. Surely you don't want a life just spent just constantly learning theory, educating yourself without actually seeing the fruits of your labor, because this is genuinely what I was doing. I was genuinely just reading book after book, watching video after video, dotting around random topics, just learning, but how is that actually moving me forward, especially in the most important action that you're supposed to be taking? Like, sure, can I now 0.1% improve my diet or something? Yeah, great, but like, that's not actually what I should be doing right now. That's not the most important action. You know what that is for yourself, and so all your content should be geared towards that. All your education should be geared towards that. And so I really just want to challenge yourself that if you're gonna, for the next week or two, whatever educational content, book, habit that you're following, learn enough to really go implement it, see some sort of improvement in yourself in whatever skill, and then come back and continue. This is what I've started doing. This is what I'm still learning to master, but I can tell you that it makes such a massive difference on what your self-development really should be. Anyways, it was a quick one today. I hope it helps. God bless.